All right, thank you, everybody. We're moving on to action item, approval of the budget. So I need a motion. Trustee Snowball.
That the Board of Trustees approve the 2022-23 budget as presented.
Any questions in regards to that again, before we approve it? Everybody's solid, we're good. Okay, so I'm going to ask that we approve the 22-23 budget as presented. All those in favor? Carried, thank you. Next is St. Thomas More travel request. They have requested that we approve for their travel to Ireland, and I need a motion. Okay. Trustee Snowball.
That the Board of Trustees approve students and staff of St. Thomas More Catholic School to travel to Ireland from April 6th to the 15th, 2023 for the EF tours.
Any discussion on that? Trustee Crokin.
I will be speaking in favor of this trip because Ireland is pretty close to my heart. But I would, when I was reading it all, the wordage, I was told by a really good Irish priest that we should be speaking it as the Republic of Ireland. It's not all of Ireland is Catholic. So I sure hope their trip ends up. I know Dublin is in the Republic, so I hope they do end up in there.
Awesome.
So that just the wordage was all mine, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Trustee Gamble.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to maybe question a little bit the one line that says they will make every effort to attend Easter Mass. I feel like that should be a little more declarative to say we will be attending Easter Mass and that will be a focus of the trip. They surely can find a church there. So I was a little concerned when I saw the wording that maybe it would become optional as a Catholic school trip. I thought, oh boy, Easter you can't miss.
Right, right. Superintendent Shirley.
The intent, thank you, Madam Chair. The intent is to attend Easter Mass. I just think that in the past, there's been, like, oh, our bus broke down, or for instance, when we went to France, we landed in Paris at 11 a.m. and, Mass was at 1 p.m. in the middle of Paris. So it's like, so we ended up like doing morning masses after. So it's just every effort will be made, considering that the agenda goes as planned.
Okay. Any other questions? No. All right. So we will vote. All those in favor? Carried. Next on the excuse me, the agenda is the committee of the whole meeting for June 6th. We're looking for that to be canceled. So I need a motion on that, please. Trustee Snow.
That the Board of Trustees cancel the June 6th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting.
Okay, any discussion on that? Part of the reason why we're canceling that is there will be a few of us that are away at ASBA, so we didn't feel that we needed to have a meeting that time. So that's the reason as to why we're canceling it. So no discussion. Okay, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Excuse me. All right. Okay, moving on. This is approval of, sorry, we're just going through our policies, and these are on our agendas all the time of just different approvals. As policy number 4, role of superintendent, there is no changes to that policy. So I need a motion in regards to that. Trustee English.
That the Board of Trustees approve policy 4, role of the superintendent as presented.
All those in favor? Thank you. Next, policy 5, board delegation and authority. Again, there's no changes in this policy, so I need a motion for that one as well. Excuse me. Trustee Crokin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I approve policy 5 or delegation of authority to set as presented.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried. And this is just for our information. These are administrative procedures. I will get Superintendent Shirley to talk on that, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our admin procedure 320 regarding student records, our student records are now all digital. And we find that the admin procedure, the wording in the admin procedure speaks to the hard or paper copies. So it's a bit of a marked up adventure in there, but really what we're just trying to do is get the admin procedure to align with the practices that we're actually doing. So thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Trustee Snowball.
And just a comment to support what your work has done. There is quite a bit of work to change those to a digital format. And I appreciated some of the changes, particularly who has access and some of those files. Almost anyone. And so now it's the procedure that has protocol to it. So I appreciate the work that's coming to that.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on, committee and representative reports. Okay, board committees, audit committee. Any meeting? No, okay, ATA Teachers Association Collective Agreement. Any meeting? No, ATA Liaison Committee. Trustee Gemmell.
So we met on May 4th.
Okay.
A couple of items that were brought forward, a discussion around the curriculum rollout, making sure that the message of slow and steady is what's being put out there. There was recognition that some of the teachers are feeling okay as they've been through this multiple changes, and others are very nervous.
Right.
So kind of a range on the scale of that. That we did have a Faith Day update discussion, which some of the questions have been resolved today on the project and the mass and different things like that. There was also the feedback on the new school name from the teachers side of the equation, very supportive, and that, you know, very proud to be part of the district of the Catholic School District with the new name choice. There was a question around the surplus clawback. I think Secretary Treasurer Nestable went through that very well today, but just to clarify on if that money is lost, if we don't do something with it by August, or if we have until the end of 23 to make sure it gets used. There were suggestions put forward on how we could use that money with helping teachers around grading time, testing time, to have support there. Those were probably the main things there, support for the teachers.
Okay.
And I think there was a couple more pieces on the video, some feedback on our video, our board video, that's very well received. And it's actually a request that we continue on with it, particularly for the rural areas where it's very hard for those teachers if they wanted to come attend that meeting. And the teachers can actually stay very much up to date on what we're doing. They can watch it on their own time. So the request was to carry on with the video side of things. And I think that was sort of the main things that I picked up. There was actually one of the members on that call mentioned they didn't realize that we were still recording these calls. So it was good. Maybe I don't know if we haven't shared that as well as we can on the website. I think there's that board video archive. Maybe there's an opportunity to remind people that that's still available. Was there anything else, Superintendent Shirley, that you caught that I missed?
Okay, thank you.
That was everything.
Thanks. Unifor collective agreement? Nothing, I don't think.
I can just report that that we will not be meeting again with Unifor until early in the new year. So we've agreed to hold off until after summer break, and then we'll sit back down and continue on with our bargaining then.
Okay, thank you. Unifor support staff grievance? I don't think there has been any. And Unifor support staff liaison? Don't think there is a committee with that. Human resources? Nope. Service awards. Christie? No, no meeting, okay. District social, we haven't had a meeting on regards to that. Political action, that would have been when we went to Peace River. We talked about that earlier in our meeting. Ambassador of Christ recognition. Kate?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we haven't met yet, but that's upcoming on June 6th, so right before the board meeting from 2 to 3 here at the office. So what I'll do is, now that I have all the nominations in, I'll send that package out to all the committee members through email by this Friday. So then you guys can have a look at that, and then we can talk about it at June 6th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Board retreat, there's been no meeting, and Grace Local Committee, I guess that's me. I sincerely, with all of my heart, I just want to thank everybody that has supported the Grace Initiative this last week through World Catholic Education. It was a big endeavor to get all the moving parts put together. I think I saw the Peace Country more in this week than I have in a long time, so it was great. Thank you to our admin staff for coming out. Thanks to all the trustees for coming out, for the Catholic Education Foundation to be able to come out and support us that way, and for parents that showed up, and for our students to be present. And it was just a great week, and the fact that it didn't rain all week was God had his hand on that, which was so awesome. We are moving forward with this initiative as well with Grace to continue into September, looking at putting plaques beside each tree, just showing the three of the organizations together in a symbol on a plaque, just to mark that tree as something that we can show for future. And also, the plan is eventually is to get pictures of those students that were available at this time, and when they graduate from their school, to take another picture and see how much they've grown, as well as the tree. So that's kind of where Grace is going to move with the tree idea in the future. So that's Grace right now. Okay. Board representation, ACSTA Board of Directors, that's Trustee Olet, and he's not here tonight. ASBA Zone 1, I guess that's me again, sorry. Fantastic meeting, I have to say. It was a good meeting at the Zone 1. Some of the things that came out of the Zone 1, big conversation around the curriculum. They did mention, though, that the new I guess for PD and all of that stuff, they're really working hard at making that happen. They're hoping that that'll be rolled out here soon, if not already. And so hopefully our teachers will have had a chance to look at that, as well as on June 3rd, prior to the ASBA AGM, there will be a new revised bulletin that will be sent out. So all of us trustees that are going, you will get a new package as to what will be on the agenda for that meeting. We also talked about virtual meetings and Zoom meetings, and our September meeting, which is the Edwin Parr and Friends of Education meeting, will only be held in person. There will be no virtual opportunity for that. One partly is it's the cost of having the mechanics of having someone organized with video and all of that stuff. And we just felt it's time for us to step back into in-person meetings. With saying that, though, the November meeting will be a hybrid meeting. So you will have the opportunity to meet in person or on Zoom. And then after that, we're going to take a vote as to where we move from there. I would just like to say that the ASBA did a presentation in our PD, and it was on Indigenous Studies and Reconciliation, and the speaker was Roy. Now I know I'm going to mess up his name, but it sounds, I think it's Pogorowski. He is a Indigenous person who has taken his Indigenous studies to a very big audience, I guess, and he was very informative about the Alberta's history in the Indigenous people and stuff. He would be someone that I would totally recommend us to even have a PD with him at one time too, because I could have listened to him all afternoon. He was very, very good. One thing though that he did say to us that I did not know exist is there's an app that you can load on your phone and it's called Whose Land App Is It? And it's an Indigenous app. I didn't know that this existed. And that when you're traveling through different provinces or whatever, if you want to know what land or what treaty you're in or whatever, you can download this app and it'll tell you whose land you're on and which treaty you're in. So I didn't know that that existed. So I learned something new that day. As well as also Grand Prairie Catholic and District, we are in charge of the Edwin Parr event in September. And as the Zone 1 rep for our board, I am going to be looking to our board for some support in helping making that day happen. I will be sitting down with the superintendent tomorrow and we're going to kind of finalize some different things as to how that is all going to look like. So I will be reaching out to you guys and just asking if certain people can take on some roles in making that happen. So other than that, that's ASBA. Grace Provincial, again, that's Trustee Ouellette. He was at Grace, the Grace Summit today. So I believe that he will have something to report next meeting. Archdiocesan Pastoral Council. No meeting? Okay. Faith Permeation Committee. Trustee Snow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're-
Chair. There. Yeah, we had our faith permeation meeting this last Thursday. And one of the highlights that Laura presented was the opportunity for us to kind of there you go. The opportunity for us to kind of look at the third year of our 3-year theme. So we've had Believe, we have Create, or sorry, we had Inspire, Create, and then Believe. And so Laura talked about what this Believe might mean, and specifically around the teachings of Christ and how we're going to follow Christ in what we say and what we do. So as we get closer to our August organizational meeting, we'll have some more information about what it means for us as trustees and as a district to kind of look at how we believe and what we can inspire others to believe in our actions.
Thank you. Friends of STM Foundation.
I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Okay. CKC score steering. I don't think there's been anything. TIBA? Anything? No. Administrative budget committee rep? Nothing. Okay, and Council of School Councils. That was me again. That was April 28th. I have to say that was probably one of the best school Council of Councils meetings I've been at. I think it was very informative for new trustees to be a part of as well as for the school council chairs to meet other school council chairs and kind of build a collaboration amongst each other. And I look forward to the next one because I think that we're building something here that every school can benefit from. It's not just one school benefiting, it was a bunch of people. So I really enjoyed the meeting. Trustee Gemmell.
I'd like to comment. So that would have been my first one to
Yes.
attend. And I actually want to recognize Superintendent Shirley
Yes.
for organizing the working pieces of it. Really appreciated the style, the format. Love the, encouraging them to go around the room and take pictures of the best practices. And I saw a lot of engagement from principals and from parents
Yes.
that were representing the school councils. Wow, they do that and I should do that. So I thought that sharing was fantastic. So appreciate that, Superintendent
Yes.
Shirley. Well
Yes.
done.
Thank you. And the rural caucus. Trustee Snowball.
Thank you. our next meeting is coming up June 5th, which is a Sunday. So that'll be coming up this coming week. It's a couple hour meeting coming up on this coming Sunday. So we'll have something to report after that meeting.
Thank you. And last, policy review ad hoc committee. We are meeting again here June 13th, I believe, to kind of go through it. We've worked on policy 9, 10, and 11. I think we've come down with an actual smaller package of the 3 policies together, and hopefully by June 13th, we'll have that kind of more finalized and be able to present that to the board. So that's where we're sitting with that. Thank you, everyone. And next, and last but not least, our roundtable. So this is an opportunity for us to share the good news and just what we've been involved in our schools over this last couple of weeks. So anybody willing to start? Trustee Gamble? Okay.
Sure, I can
Thank you.
start. I'm gonna just talk about the St. Thomas More tour again. It really struck me how beautiful that was and how closely they worked together. So I just wanted to call that out again. It was very uplifting to go and do that tour.
Okay, great. Thank you. Trustee Snowball.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A number of things. May highlighted a number of activities I was paid to be a part of. Right off the beginning of the month, May 2nd to the 6th, we had Teacher Appreciation Week, and going around to acknowledge the good work that our teachers are doing, especially coming out of this COVID year. Congratulations to all of our staff, and thank you. The 3D hockey chairman presented 5 students with their dream wish at Kateri this past month, and it was phenomenal to see the gift of joy that these young people got from so many people receiving their dream wish locally. And so a huge thank you to the committee that works on that, bringing joy to so many people's lives. And one of the families from our own church community, our own school community, was one of the winners of that. So a tremendous amount of work that goes into that. Recognizing our school district as being receivers of the Rotary Youth Exchange. Again, during COVID, the Rotary wasn't able to do that, but we now have a student at St. Joe's and we have a student at John Paul too. So thanks to the school community for hosting that, and to the families who are hosting that. Also, just some information for you. If you go on this website called www.papalvisit.com, there's some, or .ca, sorry. There's some information on the Papal Visit coming now, dates July 24th to the 29th. And there's some really good catechetical information about where the Pope is going to be landing, the soil that he's on, the treaties that he's going to be covering. So just for staff information purposes, if you want to go www.papalvisit.ca, it's really good in terms of what the projected 3 sites are for Pope Francis Landing and where that travel will continue. It's not completely finalized, but it gives us a good sense of what resources students in the classroom can use up until that time. And I guess I'll finish with a thank you to the administration in our district. Again, it's been mentioned, for the openness that we received as a Grace Committee to work with staff so closely. I don't want to, go without saying that that was a very unique opportunity to work so closely with staff, operational staff, and I don't take it for granted. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Trustee English.
Thank you. Did the tree planting this past month, and it was beautiful. Again, I didn't know what to expect myself either with it, but it was well put together by you guys. It was a lot of fun, and meeting with all those people at the different schools and going to the different schools. And it was pretty neat. And then, that St. Thomas More tour, like I said, beautiful school. Had no idea that it was that big, and yeah, just all the needs that they have for it. It'd be nice to try and provide the people with an upgrade of some sorts for them.
Great, thank you. Trustee Melsal.
I just wanted to say thanks for coming to my school. I take every opportunity to brag it up. So I thought it was great and the tree planting went wonderful and it was nice to have you guys all there.
Thank you. Trustee Croker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also would like to thank the organizing committee of Grace and the great cookies and the great driving and the great digging, Chairman Russ, or we are not chairman tonight. But it was a pleasure to see the kindergarten children that came out to, it was mostly kindergarten in one school, wasn't, but to that idea of taking a picture of those in 11, 12 years,
Yeah.
will be, it's really exciting. So I was really pleased to be part of it and credit all our trustees for taking part in the same thing. So thank you again for the organizing of, and I know I picked up a tree or two, so it was fun too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any of our superintendents, deputy superintendents want to say anything? Nobody? No? Okay. Then I will close. Again, I would just like to thank everybody for being a part of the Grace initiative here in the tree planting, as well as doing the school tour to St. Thomas More. I take advantage of those times when we can sit in a vehicle and have conversation and get to know each other. And that's what I've really found in these last couple of weeks is I've gotten to know everybody around this table a little bit better. And it's just really nice to know that that this board is, we can work together and we can also play together really well as well. And you know, it's nice. And so I thank you everybody again for coming out and being a part of it. I think it shows that we can work and we work well together, and it's just a really good thing. So thank you very much. And with that, we will ask for our closing prayer. So thank you.
In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, as we close this meeting, we want to give honor to you. Thank you for the time we had today to discuss issues and make decisions. May you bless each person who took the time to gather here today and let your hand of protection be on them throughout the week. Let the work done here tonight come to fruition and let it all be in for your glory. Help us each to do our parts to bring the plans discussed to life. We ask this in Jesus' name.
Amen. So thank you, everybody. Our meeting is adjourned.